Hey, it's Mark Ferguson with Invest for More, and this is one of 4 properties of the new rental property I just bought about a month ago, and we've discovered lots of interesting things since buying it. The first thing is that pretty much none of the tenants in the 3 houses were paying rent. So we're pretty sure the seller was related to them or friends with them in some way, and when we told them to start paying rent, they pretty much said, well, we don't pay rent. I'm like, well, your leases say you pay rent, so you're gonna have to pay rent. So we've been dealing with that. We also have a camper. Yes, another camper that I'll go drive by and tell you the story on that. And lots of issues. So of course, check out investformore.com for lots more information on my wonderful rental properties, our flips, and lots of advice videos. This property I bought for $410,000. Which was an amazing deal for 3 houses in a commercial building. But we knew there were going to be some problems and some issues when we bought it, and now we're seeing exactly what those issues are. So this house right here, they said they were not paying rent. They're supposed to pay $650, I think, a month, which is like half of what market rent would be. And they said they're unable to pay rent because one of the occupants is having some legal issues right now. They also left their cars outside, which we can't have. The city's been telling us they're going to start fining us for different things left on the property, so those are one of the things. So we're trying to work with them a little bit because of their issues, and they did bring in some money but are still behind on rent, and we're just trying to be nice a little bit, but we'll see how that goes and if it works out in the end. If not, the worst case scenario is some of these people will have to move out. We can clean up the properties, repair them a little bit, and then get new renters in there. We'll be paying much more and have a much better looking property. So it's not the end of the world. So over here, you can see this is a commercial building, which is kind of a car repair shop. And they have been paying rent. Then right here's the camper. So that was not there when I bought the property. And what was there was kind of like a tent thing. And we asked about it, and the owner told us, oh, there were some people staying there, but they're leaving, they're gone, the tent was gone. And then shortly after I bought it, this camper was moved in here. So there is somebody living in that camper in Greeley, Colorado, in the middle of winter, as you can see. So we did leave an eviction notice saying they have to leave. They have not left yet. So that will be a process we work on. The police, of course, are saying, hey, we can't do anything, it's private property. Well, they're trespassing, so we'll go with that route as well and see what we can do. But had an old camper video as well, if you guys remember, where someone dropped off a camper on another flip, and we ended up, it disappeared somehow. No idea how that happened. But this one you can't just hook up and tow like the other one. You gotta like get a truck and back it up and all that stuff. So we'll work on that. The house over there, we can even see the gentleman working on his car. They've got a number of cars, vehicles just sitting over there not working. The city has also told us those have to move, those have to leave. They also did not pay rent and said they weren't paying rent, and paid us a little bit but not enough to catch up. And we told them, you've got to get all your junk out of here because the city's going to keep bothering us. And they also, you can see that guy right there, have a couple pit bulls, and they're not supposed to have any dogs, any pets according to the lease. That's another issue, not just that they have pit bulls, but they tend to just run around on their own around this property. And I haven't seen them smile very much, so I don't know how nice those pit bulls are. So you know they have a pretty rough reputation. And finally, we have a house over here, and they also said they were not paying rent, but they did pay us rent and have been somewhat on time. So they're paying. The camper obviously is not paying. They're kind of paying, and the other house is kind of paying as well. So that's where we stand with this property right now. I knew there'd be some issues and some problems. It's not the end of the world. You can see all their cars and vehicles over there. If something happens, and the tricky part for these tenants is there's no way they're going to find properties to rent this cheap. There's 1 bedrooms that are being shared for lease for $500 in the area. Or maybe $400. So it's going to be really tough for them to find anything the guy who lives there has a semi truck and has to park it there. So it's gonna be really rough on them to try and find new spots. So we're trying to work with them a little bit, because obviously they're in a situation with a relative and they're probably had some big surprises when he sold. But we'll have to, you know, we can't just let people stay for free forever either. So we'll work on that. It's not the end of the world. It's something we expected, as I said. But eventually they'll either have to pay rent, and then eventually long term they're gonna have to start paying more rent, or they're gonna have to leave while we fix up the houses and get other people in there. All right, so that's the property. It's in a good location. I've shown you guys this before. That's a good location for development. That's a major highway right there, and this property is zoned commercial. So even though it looks pretty like a horrible location for rental properties, it's actually a really good location for commercial development and retail development, which is what it's zoned for. So we'll see what happens. We will keep talking to the people. If we have to, we might work on some evictions. We'll see. All right, thanks for watching. Hope everyone has a great rest of their day. We'll be back with many more videos and a lot more great information coming up in the next week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Basically, as long as I have a phone, I'll probably keep shooting videos. All right, take care.